Get your official Doxby Films merchandise only at doxbyfilms.etsy.com. doxbyfilms.etsy.com. Shop now and support what we do. Or join us on Patreon to get early access, uncensored content, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, and more. Patreon.com/DoxbyFilms. You can also send us a tip with a message, and we'll read it out loud and respond to it on the Doxbywood podcast. Tip us at buymeacoffee.com/DoxbyFilms or on Cash App at DoxbyFilms1.
All right, welcome. Rep the set, got it tatted on my ass. This is the Doxbywood podcast.
Mecca lick a high, make a hide a hose everywhere. This is Brayton Townsend coming at you with Vigo Johnson.
Not to be confused with Fleece Johnson. I'm not into the booty.
Anymore.
Never was. Hashtag no anal, just gainal.
You got a new tattoo or a couple of them.
Yeah, I did. I actually have a few since last time. Got a pretty cool traditional hockey skull on the arm, as well as Willie Nelson sucks around my left elbow and no spider webs above my right.
Man, what's wrong with Willie Nelson?
Okay, I was listening.
I'm not a fan of Willie Nelson, but like, why the enough hate for Willie Nelson to get it tatted on your body?
My favorite country musician of all time is Townes Van Zandt, and Willie Nelson is known for doing Poncho and Lefty, which is a Townes Van Zandt song. And I was actually at the Rural King in Shelbyville. Shout out Shelbyville Rural King. Picking up some 45 ACP rounds. And they were playing the Willie Nelson Poncho and Lefty. And I was like, God, this shit is horrendous. There's not a single redeemable quality about that fucking cover. And I started thinking, I was like, no song he's ever covered was good. And I remember that bastardized version of Come On Up to the House by Tom Waits he did with Allyson Krauss. And I was like, Willie Nelson fucking sucks. So I called my tattoo artist. I was like, hey, I want to get Willie Nelson sucks tattooed around my elbow. And he's like, what about the other elbow? And I was thinking about all the dudes at every hardcore show I've ever been to. They always have the spider web around the elbow. So I was like, fuck it. Put no spider webs above the other one.
Like the words, no spider webs, for those who can't see the tattoo.
Spider webs.
Yeah, it's like the actual word no followed by the word spider webs. It's a pretty dope tattoo. No is in all caps.
Yeah, emphasis. No spider web.
I ran into a spider web this morning, face first.
Bad for you. You're an arachnophobe.
Man, don't tell people that. I'm going to get canceled.
That's like the weird juxtaposition in our friendship is like you hate spiders and I have them tattooed on my head and face.
And my favorite superhero is Spider-Man.
Shout out Kinsella, my pet tarantula that was killed by a drunk girl.
Shout out, who was it we were going to shout out? Bowling Alley Boys?
Oh, Bowling Alley Boys.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, me and my buddy Darren, we went and went bowling, and I took some pictures for the gram. And I was trying to select Bowling Alley Bar by the Handsome Family, and I couldn't find it. But what I did find was a song called "Bowling Alley Boys" by Bowling Alley Boys. I was like, me and Darren are Bowling Alley Boys, and I selected it and laughed for 30 minutes straight. I think I'm their only listener on Spotify. Go listen to the Bowling Alley Boys and their only song, Bowling Alley Boys. Show them some love. I'm not going to explain the song because I want you to be curious enough to go listen to it yourself. It's hard.
In fact, what you should do the very first time you listen to this song, for those out there, is do it whenever you're making love to a woman or a man, whoever you are, whatever it is, whoever's listening to this, whoever it is that you're hooking up with or sleeping with, get them in bed and get your sex playlist going. Now sneak the song Bowling Alley Boys into the sex playlist so that you and the person you're having sex with both hear the song for the first time while you're having intercourse, and it makes it that much better.
If you don't have somebody to have intercourse with, you a lonely bitch, play it while you're grinding your pillow. You a lonely man, play it while you're giving the cohetus to your fleshlight in your fucking broom closet.
The cohetus?
Yeah. I don't
the
know.
Cohetus and the Cambrius?
Oh, God. I don't know. My grandpa said one time we were out and he saw a deer getting f***ed by this big ass, like 12-point buck. My grandfather, on my mom's side, big deer hunter. And he just pointed and he goes, he's really putting the cohetus to her. And I have no idea what the fuck that's supposed to mean, but I use it every day since.
It's like coitus with an H.
I think it's a type of Mexican cheese. That's on like elote. Isn't that cojita cheese?
Cojita.
It's like it's
I don't
like
know.
corn, mayonnaise, spicy seasonings, and like cojita cheese. Might be cotija. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
I don't speak cheese. So there are a couple of things. Let's talk about cryptids, dude. Because you've had some cryptid encounters.
I have. Yeah. I saw Natalia Grace at a gas station.
Damn.
And shout out Natalia Grace. No, I have had some cryptid encounters.
Yeah, you've told me about some of them, and some of them are pretty what do I want to say, significant.
Yeah. Many years ago, it was like, can't remember if it was 2018 or 2019. Me and some friends, we went down. We were going to stay in a cabin for the weekend. And this is like my first time ever doing something like that with friends. Like usually I'm like the Irish goodbye guy. I just kind of like leave and go home and don't tell them I left. And I was like, this would be good for me because I was recovering from some vehicular PTSD that I had from a traumatic experience, and like I didn't like long car rides or driving or anything like that. Like driving to like 30 minutes over to Wayne County was like a miserable experience for me. Because every time I was in a vehicle, I expected something bad to happen. But I started like warm up to it. I was going to shows with friends and, hanging out, going to Oxford all the time. And so me and some friends, 5 other friends, we load up in the car. It was a piece of shit 98 Subaru Outback. And it smelled like burning transmission. And so we took the trip. And, it's getting late, raining really bad. And we get to the lane where you have to turn to go to my friend's uncle's cabin that was out there. And it was like a mixture of primitive and modern. Like it had electricity and a TV, but like the heat was a fireplace and there was only an outhouse to get in. It was a pretty cool mix. I was looking forward to it. It was real rustic and we were going to do some shooting and drinking and hanging out. So we get down there, we're coming up in the lane, and like we've all been on GPSs trying to figure out where the fuck we're going, and we go to take a right down the lane, and when we turn, you can see the end of the lane, and it's just shrouded in blackness, like like a velvety black, like a textured like, dark black, inexplicable, and there's these 2 beaming red eyes. It's like, imagine you're in the pitch dark with sunglasses on at a stoplight. And like in the middle of fucking nowhere, there's not a stoplight on the way to this cabin. And at that moment, the blackness spread as if it spread its wings. And there was this piercing noise. And I don't know how to explain the noise other than like if you've ever had tinnitus, it was like a rumbling ringing in your ear. And so immediately my friend is grabbing the driver's shoulder and the driver's like frozen, just face forward. And she's grabbing her shoulder going, come on, you gotta drive. And I'm just sitting here in teetotal fucking awe. And eventually she just kind of snaps out of it, and we fucked off, and immediately just was headed back home. We were out of it. And we didn't talk for 30 minutes or more on the drive. Like, we were all just trying to realize what we actually saw. And, like, for the record, none of us were under the influence of anything.
This is where again?
It was in northern Kentucky. And so we're on the way back, and I'm just, like, rattled. And eventually we stopped to get a bite to eat and some gas, and we all were like, okay, we need to talk about what the fuck we just saw, and if we all saw it. And we talked about it, and, we were all like, kind of like, well, maybe we're sleep deprived, but why are we all hallucinating the same thing? It was like a series of denial. And so we just kind of tried to write it off. Get back to town. I go in my house and I sit down and I'm like, what the fuck? And I could not sleep. It wasn't like, I wasn't tired. I was miserably tired, and it wasn't like I was afraid, but there was just something like preventing me from closing my eyes. I couldn't stop thinking about it. The next morning, I'd been asleep maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's 8 in the morning. My buddy calls me and tells me that wouldn't have been short after we went to go down there, the fucking cabin burnt to the ground. Nobody was there. And it was poorly ran electric that caused the fire. And that was when, like, my perspective changed. Because, like, you think about Mothman and the bridge and the mines, and he's always been viewed as a bad omen. But, like, he prevented us from going to the cabin, and if we would have went there, we would have got drunk, fell asleep, and been incinerated.
Mothman saved your ass. Shout out Mothman.
Shout out Mothman.
For real.
That's where we're at with this.
Dude, I had vehicular PTSD from when my ex-girlfriend's grandma ran over my foot. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't.
She ran over my foot and, like, just stayed there.
We've been friends for an encroaching decade, and you never told me.
She ran over my foot and, like, stopped, right? Because I was, like, trying to get into her car, into the back of her car, and she starts taking off before I'm even in the car. So she runs over my foot. As she's running over my foot, my ex-girlfriend plus whoever is in the car at the same time is like, wait, Brandon's not in. And she stops the car on my foot. So I have the full weight of the car on my foot. And I'm like, you're on my foot. Can you please back up? And she starts freaking out. Like, what? 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 What'd I do? What's going on? What is it? What happened? And I'm like, back up! And then I felt bad for yelling at her. She's like, you need to go to the hospital? I'm like, no.
Did you go to a podiatrist?
No.
Oh.
I ain't going to no damn foot doctor.
Shout out podiatrist.
Like, what kind of a freaky motherfucker do you have to be to study feet?
Quentin Tarantino.
He's at least somewhat, I won't say honest about it, but he's at least somewhat transparent about it, because he'll straight up suck Selma Hayek's toe on camera. But you got podiatrists who are like, oh yeah, I'm a doctor. No, it's okay. I don't know.
That's how podiatrists talk.
I don't know. I've never been to one.
Yeah, me either.
You remember that time, what was it? Like, you were texting me that you saw something or encountered something, and then it was later that night or the day after or something. There was blood on the road.
Oh yeah,
on the street where you used to live.
Yeah, me and Travis had been out walking and saw a whole ass UFO, which I showed you the video of, and like that wasn't a fucking helicopter, it wasn't a plane. And the next like hour and a half, he went to town to pick up some Mickey D's. And when he came back, he was telling me that he saw like a 9-foot alien creature standing over at... So, where I used to live, and this is 100% legitimate. I'm not going to dox myself, but if you know, you know. At the end of the road, me and my girlfriend used to live on, and you lived there as a child, didn't you?
Mm.
Yeah. At the end of that lane is an explosives testing facility where they make and test military explosives.
Chicka chicka boom boom.
It's what you hear 6 months out of the year. And it rattles your windows. And seeing as you live in a metal saltine box, you notice it. But
it's like living in Sunnyvale, except instead of Ricky and Julian firing off guns, you hear literal bombs.
Yeah. Also, behind the side lot, when you first enter, those 6 trailers, the woods behind them, was an active minefield until 2016.
Wait, where?
So you know when you first go in where the office is?
Yeah.
The line of trailers behind that?
Yeah.
You know how they have the woods
right
there in the
behind them, yeah.
When I was 13, I was over at a buddy of mine's trailer, and we heard an explosion during a fucking gnarly windstorm. And it's because his lawn chair went out and hit an active landmine. There were active landmines because at that time, the ordnance place owned that section of land, and they just didn't fence it off. They put up signs that said, "Beyond this point, there are live explosives."
That's like unhinged. I mean, so there would just be random squirrels going through those woods, and just all of a sudden, boom.
Kill a family of 4.
I saw a video earlier where some woman walked into Walmart to get something, like a regular errand.
Which we just did.
And we did. But we didn't do this. She was fidgeting around in her pocket and found a lighter. And for some reason, her first instinct was to take the lighter and light a fake plant on fire. Then she's like, oh, what did I do? So she runs away. Within 30 seconds, it's just the place is engulfed in flames and sprinklers are on. It was crazy shit. Like, who the hell just walks in and just sets shit on fire?
Jesus. No, not. That was an expletive, not saying that Christ himself would do that.
A different Jesus.
Yeah. That's fucking unhinged. Have you seen the video of the guy who is like trying to get changed?
No, hang on. What's the John the Baptist quote? There's one that will come after me who will baptize with he'll baptize you with spirit and fire. Is that the quote?
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's that Jesus.
I'll tell you this. Have you seen the video of the dude at Little Caesars who's trying to get his cash out of his pocket and pulls the trigger of his Derringer and shoots himself in the leg?
No.
Yeah, dude. That's why a good holster is important. They make holsters for Derringers. They might be pocket pistols, but if you're going to put it in your pocket, be careful. Don't put it with your fucking loose change. It's like Derringers don't have a trigger guard.
I don't think we finished the story.
We'll fix it in post. So at that ordnance place, my buddy Travis was coming back from McDonald's and saw what he claimed to be a 9-foot tall gray creature that he explained like some shit straight out of the X-Files. And of course I was like, okay, dude, sure thing. Like, a part of me believed him, but then the other part of me was like, I'd have seen a fucking alien, you know? I'm 6'8", I'll see a 9-foot tall alien, you know? But he was like noticeably like distraught. Like he looked like he was in fear for his life. Like he looked like he just tried to have a conversation with RFK while he was drinking aquarium cleaner. So I was like, well, that's fucking weird.
Injecting bleach.
And then the next day...
Don't do that, by the way. Before someone tries to say, oh, Brayton's telling people to inject bleach.
Don't inject bleach and don't trust the police. Then the next day we had plans. And we went out in like the afternoon. Weren't we filming?
I think we were filming for Comfort Zone.
I think
there was a lot of fucked up shit that happened when we were filming Comfort Zone. You getting burglarized.
Yeah, this is before I moved. I think it's when we filmed the proof of concept for Comfort Zone.
It might have been. That's right. Yeah, because that was day one at the apartment.
Yeah,
you were living at the apartment. I mean, on day one of filming, because that was when.
It was when we shot the proof of concept because it was when I kept making Johnny Sins jokes at the DP.
Yeah.
But, anyhow, on the way back in the middle of the night, we had grabbed some fillet of fish, and you were taking me back home, and there was just blood all over the fucking road. And there's no like roadkill or dead hookers, just blood.
And the next day it was gone.
Entirely. And that night I sent you pictures where there was like 85 fucking police officers down there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, like every cop in town was down there blocking off the road, and it was never explained.
And by the way, just in case we've accidentally started to pull out a thread, neither one of us are suicidal.
We were in perfect health.
But yeah, that was
in the time period we were making Comfort Zone, so much strange shit did happen. We were shooting while there was an active serial killer.
Yeah.
And the fucking wildest thing that happened, if you remember, we heard him kill someone.
We didn't hear him kill somebody.
Yeah, we did. The night we heard the gunshot, when we shot in that fucking parking lot by the old Wells building, was the night that dude was shot in the cemetery up the way.
I don't think that was the same night.
It was.
I don't think that was the same night.
It was.
It might have been.
Because I remember going home and like freaking the fuck out about it.
I'm pretty sure that we heard that gunshot right after the dude died. Like, I think we already knew about that by the time.
No, it was the second death. We'd already known about the first one.
It might have been. I don't know.
We'll cut this arguing out.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't remember the ins and outs. But yeah, bottom line is there was an active serial killer.
And we were filming and actively heard gunshots.
Yeah. And there was a scene in a graveyard that we filmed, which is like, I mean, I don't know. It's not like we ran into anybody it's not like we were in any danger, but I mean, it would have been wild if like we were there and we saw him there, like trying to drop off a body or something.
To be fair, I keep that thing on me, so that would have went a hell of a lot differently than it did go.
Yeah, we would have filmed that and I would have had to rewrite the entire plot around it.
Yeah.
It would have been better.
Yeah, and then I'd like to bring on the podcast sometime and further flesh out the story. Me and Darren saw straight up like Wendigo.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, me, Darren, and Beth out in the middle of nowhere, like 2 a.m. And that
what was the story?
We were pulling through and we saw reflective eyes in like the tree line. And when we looked over, because Darren stopped instinctively thinking it was a deer, we both looked. And it was like a humanoid figure down on all fours. It was terrifying. And it was weird all night. Because beforehand we had saw a legion of baby raccoons eating its mother that had been ran over. And like cannibalism is what, you know, summons the spirit of the Wendigo.
Is it?
Yeah.
How's that?
I don't know. I am far too white to be explaining Native American legends. Respectfully. I like to bring Darren on so he can further talk about the story.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to have Darren on.
Yeah.
You know who I'd really love to have on?
Fleece Johnson.
Fleece Johnson.
And the bowling alley boys at the same time.
And the bowling alley boys. I don't know about it at the same time, but Fleece Johnson, listen. I am offering up my booty right now.
You're playing with fire.
If you will come on the Doxbywood podcast and just tell us your story. We want to have a conversation with you about one thing: booty.
Man ass. Hairy man ass for mayor.
Okay.
Don't
Don't spoil the surprise. Hairy man ass for mayor.
We already have one of those.
Hairy man ass and the philosopher's stone.
Heavy prostate and the kidney stone.
That might be a that should be a band name.
Yeah, dude.
Heavy prostate and the kidney stones.
I actually started a punk band and we never recorded any music, and it had one of my favorite band names ever.
What's that?
Kaczynski's Mailing List.
That is a good name.
Yeah.
I started a band that we never recorded anything. You know, it was me and one other guy, and the band name was Scissor Jizzer, which is an amazing band name. The good news is, last I knew of, I don't know if this is still a thing, but he was using that to record music with somebody else. I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but shout out Scissor Jizzer.
Yeah. We find out he's making music with Fleece Johnson.
Fleece Johnson's like, I met Scissor Jizzer when I was in prison. He's a good fella, white dude.
You can't invite him on the podcast in exchange for your booty and then do a bad impression of him.
Look, I can't do a good Fleece Johnson impression.
I will protect you with my life, but if you're over here making deals with the devil with your booty on the line, I'm not going to stop him. Because you made the deal.
I don't think I made the deal yet. There might be terms to the deal.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Johnson. You
no.
You didn't read the terms and conditions.
No. The contract isn't set yet. I mean,
user licensing agreement.
I mean, for one, I'm going to have to pick the day of the week and make sure my diet's right.
It's not gay if it's a Wednesday.
But anyways, cryptid encounters. I'm about to have a cryptid encounter.
Yeah, dude. You get your man ass snatched by Fleece Johnson.
My B. Hyman.
Jamie Heineman.
That's who we need. That's who we need to be the tech person for this podcast. Hey, people named Jamie who want to be a tech person for a podcast, hit us up. Every podcast has a Jamie.
We're two halves of one Jamie.
I don't think so. I don't think that makes any sense.
Well, because we do all this ourselves.
Yeah, I still don't think we equal one Jamie.
What do we equal?
You and me are here, but Jamie's elsewhere. Shout out Jamie's Elsewhere. That's an underrated band.
I can't say I've listened to more than 2 songs.
Oh. I have listened to more than 2.
Ja pio voda.
Probably like 3. No, I listened to quite a bit of Jamie's Elsewhere.
Ja pio voda. Schleb Dragovi. Kurwa. Ja jestem chleb maszyzno, ja pierdolę.
Now, what have I told you about using this podcast as a platform to spread communist propaganda?
What? Shout out to my fellow Polacks.
What did you even say?
The Polacks will tell you.
Okay.
As the representative of Polish Americans, even though I'm only half, I promise you, I'm going to get all of our Polish viewers together and we're going to fucking screw in a light bulb. It's going to take all of us.
Man, I can't think of the last time I changed a light bulb. Is that weird? Like, I feel like my lights never go out around here. Other than, I guess, in the kitchen.
The light that never goes out.
Well,
and when a double-decker bus crashes into us. And when big ol' Elon Musk touches on my butt. Or whatever the Morrissey says. Fuck Elon Musk, dude.
Alrighty.
What's he gonna do? Send a robot to Fleece Johnson me?
It sends Fleece Johnson to Fleece Johnson, you.
You think Fleece Johnson will take orders from Elon Musk?
No.
Joke's on Fleece Johnson. I got straight frog ass. I look like Hank Hill naked. He ain't got no padding to be fucking my butt.
I think we should replace capital punishment instead of the death penalty, since they hardly ever execute people anyway. We just lock them in a room with Fleece Johnson for an hour and let him take their booty.
Instead of capital punishment, we instate capitalist punishment. Where instead of being beaten and murdered, you just go into $30,000 of never-ending debt.
I thought capitalist punishment was going to be like Elon Musk running you over with a Tesla.
Libertarian punishment is where your Asian mail-order bride cheats on you.
Yeah, been there.
Twice this month.
Why do you think I no longer call myself libertarian?
I've only ever known you to call yourself Brandon.
Well, that's weird. You've never heard me call myself daddy? Not even ironically?
No, I'm just used to making other people do that.
I don't make anybody do anything.
I'm going to release the PDF of my contract. I signed an NDA. No dick and ass agreement. And
You're gonna make me like behave as Fleece Johnson on this whole podcast.
I just said I signed a no dick and ass agreement, Brandon.
Yeah.
Don't you start embodying Fleece Johnson around me.
No,
Sanctuary.
no, because now I gotta be like, I never took nothing from nobody that
Except
they wasn't giving up.
You know what? I want to bring something up. I had a David Lynch moment. I've waited till we started the podcast to tell you this. I've been over for like 2 hours. I had a weird like Twin Peaks fish in the percolator moment at the Knolltown Diner. Shout out Knolltown Diner. Good John.
Yeah.
I'm in here and me and my lovely girlfriend are sitting at a table together enjoying some breakfast. And there's this old man who's dressed pretty swagged out. He's got like a fucking coach's jacket on, red with a matching red hat and some fucking sneaks. Dude, he looked like if he was 30 years younger, I'd think he was a fan of Gideon. Shout out Gideon. But he goes to the bathroom. I've never seen this man in my life. He's eating on the other side of the restaurant. And he walks over to our table. And he goes, I went to see the doctor the other day. He goes, I was seeing her and she gave me terrible news. And I said, yeah, what? And he goes, she was married. And so like I'm laughing and I shouldn't have because that gave this old man the confidence to tell me 2 more doctor related jokes. He goes, yeah, I had to get a new doctor and this second doctor told me that he knew how to cure a millionaire. In just 3 visits, they had no more money left.
What the hell?
I'm like,
Who is this guy?
And he goes, I went to that doctor and he told me I was in bad shape. And I said, what can I do, doc? And he goes, go to the creek and take a mud bath.
And I asked him, would that cure me? He said, nope, but it'll get you used to the dirt. And then he just walked out.
Guy doesn't pay for his food.
I'm just sitting here, like, I'm sure he probably paid at the other register.
Yeah.
But he just did that, did not elaborate, and exited. And, like, I felt like I was in Twin Peaks. I was like, what the
That is pretty surreal.
Yeah.
That is pretty surreal, especially being at the Nulltown restaurant.
That place is surreal.
That place is surreal. It's good. They got some awesome food.
The next time I went in there, I just like kept witnessing weird shit. At one point in time, a dude with an eye patch just stared at me. And I was like, okay. Which, like, me and my girlfriend look weird going into that place anyway, because, you know, she's got, like, dyed red hair and tattoos, and,
yeah,
you know, she's wearing fishnets and Docs, and I'm covered in tattoos, and, you know.
I know what you mean when it comes to David Lynch moments, because we had a couple of those. What were we doing in the alley whenever we encountered that person that was wearing that, well, it was like a suit jacket and what kind of pants?
Oh, yeah. He had like a suit jacket over like some kind of football jersey.
Yeah.
And he was wearing like ramen print pajama pants.
Yeah, yeah.
And he had a 44-ounce cup in his suit jacket pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like bopping.
And he was carrying, I think, just an empty shopping bag or something.
Yeah.
Like an empty grocery bag.
Yeah. And he like didn't even look at us.
Oh no, that was when we spilled the fake cocaine.
Yeah. That was when we were shooting that music video I never got to finish.
Yeah, that's what that was.
And then just up the alley from there, when we were like doing some location scouting, we had a guy come out who looked like and I'm not saying this, no offense to gays, he looked like a flamboyantly gay neo-Nazi. Like, he had a fat girl butt and like the Richard Spencer haircut, and I don't know, he looked like an Albanian male hooker, but he's wearing like cargo pants and jack boots, and he was like, you guys need to get out of here because I got a big dog and he's been known to hop the fence. I'm like,
we weren't even on.
We were nowhere
property.
near his property. We were on public ground.
We were across the alley.
Yeah, on public land.
Yeah.
And he lived across the alley, and he was just mad that we were existing.
Dog's known to jump the fence.
And I'm like, yeah, cool, buddy. You want to fucking die? But
yeah, he did kind of give me Bangkok male stripper vibes.
Yeah, he looked like if a retired
which
male,
for a white guy like doesn't make sense.
He looked like if a retired male escort like joined the alt-right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he looks like he has like flavored condoms and tiki torches in his bedroom.
He looks like he fucked Milo Yiannopoulos.
Nazis. He kind of looked like Milo Yiannopoulos. If Milo Yiannopoulos, like, you know, got fat and wore tactical gear.
Yeah.
But, you know, fuck Nazis.
Fuck people who threaten us with dogs.
Yeah, that's a weird threat. It's not like, how beta male do you have to be to threaten two random dudes in an alley with your dog?
That was the same night we heard the gunshots. I do know that.
Yeah. Then one morning when we were coming here to do trash continuity, we saw a guy mowing his lawn with a parakeet on his shoulder.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
That was wild.
Well, remember, I think it was the night we watched Skinamarink, but
Horrible film.
Alexa started playing music out of nowhere,
Oh,
and my dryer door flew open,
yeah.
which was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're trying to keep themselves entertained because the film's so fucking boring.
Yeah, like whatever haunts my apartment was just so mad
It's like
about that film.
Go back to watching Cops. One of your ex-coworkers approached me in public.
Is this another cryptid encounter?
Might as well be. He's like, "Hey, you're the guy that runs around with Brandon."
Oh,
I
him.
was so like, yeah. He goes, "How's he doing?" I was like, "Yeah, he's Brandon, you know." He was like, yeah. And then he was like, he told me to tell you about some lying bitch. I don't remember the name he gave me. He's like, "Yeah, tell him that fucking bitch. He's a fucking lying bitch. She got fired." And it was like, there's a whole thing. I was like, "Yeah, right." And then I'm behind him in line. He's telling my buddy who works at Kroger. He's like, "Yeah, they're known to fucking street fight dirty." He's like, "You know what I'm talking about, Vigo?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Ask Brandon. Brandon knows about how they street fight dirty."
Oh yeah, I
was
know.
like, yeah.
I know all about it.
Infamous street fighter, Brandon
Infamous
Townsend.
street fighter Brandon Townsend.
Yeah. Renowned sternurist Vigo Johnson and infamous street fighter Brandon Townsend.
First rule is we don't talk about it.
You want to know another thing? I watched a movie with Paul Allen.
Who did he play?
My buddy Paul, he had me come fix his alternator. And I did that. And then the next day he was like, "Hey, how about we go out, grab a bite and go catch a movie?" I was like, "Okay, what movie?" He's like, "New horror film." And I'd seen the ad campaign on TikTok. And it's The Woman in the Yard.
Snow White.
The Woman in the Yard.
I've heard of that.
And in the ad campaign, it was like, "This woman wants to eat your children." And I'm like, I've met some of those in my day. So I thought this was going to be like a La Llorona thing. And that was going to be the whole thing, is like this ominous creature trying to eat this lady's children. That's not what it's about at all. In the fucking slightest. And
What's it about?
Spoiler alert
We're
for
shitting on
anybody.
it, right? Yeah, spoilers.
Spoiler for anybody who cares.
We spoil movies on here.
I am going to shit on it hard. It is my least favorite type of horror movie. So it starts off, there's this woman, and she's got a dead husband, and she's like rewatching videos of him. And her kids are like, "Mom, the power's out, get out of bed." And she's got a fucked up leg from the car crash her husband died in. So anyway, it's like this mom like failing to be a mom because she's depressed. That's the whole start of the movie. And then randomly the son's like, "Yo, Mom, there's a lady outside." And it looks like Joanna Furbashi in Comfort Zone, but instead of white, it's a black doily. And she's sitting in a chair in the yard. And she goes out there and she's like, "Today's the day. Your children look ripe enough for eating." But I'm noticing the multi-tracking of the voice is the mom's voice underneath the actress's voice. So immediately I know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, it gives it away.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
Well, then you know, I know what you're talking about. Like, then you sit there for the whole movie, like movies where that type of thing happens. And then you sit there for the whole movie saying, surely they're not going to go that way. Surely they're not. And then they do.
Yeah. Well, so she goes inside.
Like, surely they're not that stupid.
She's trying to keep her kids inside, and like she keeps hallucinating. And you get like these scenes of her hallucinating. Like in one, she's like imagining she's comforting her daughter after she freaks out on her. And then she stabs her in the back, and then you see that she stabbed the pillow. And so it gives it away immediately. And the whole climax is like this creature is like it controls shadows in the house for some reason. And they go upstairs into the attic because there's no light. And I thought that was stupid because why does she have that power? And then the mom's like fighting with it, and she's all like, every day you prayed to me, begged for strength. Because every morning the mom's like, give me strength. And she's all like, I'm the dark corners of your mind. And that's literally what it is. It's a physical manifestation of her mental illness and suicidal ideation. And it tries to make the mom kill herself with the rifle. And then she just fucking doesn't. That's the whole fucking movie. It uses a bunch of trippy visuals and like out of focus shots and weird angles to try to be smart. It's not. You know from the fucking start of the movie what it is. And like, the only way that I really think would be so much easier to make it better is if they took the Sixth Sense approach. Because like, no one directly interacts with Bruce Willis aside from the son who says he sees dead people. The plot twist is Bruce Willis was dead the whole time and nobody else saw him but the kid, right?
Yeah.
If they would have done that, if the kids hadn't seen the creature, would have made it so much better. Because why are the kids seeing a manifestation of their mom's mental illness in the yard? It kind of fucking kills the whole thing to me. And it's 89 grueling fucking minutes of trippy, nauseating shots and no satisfying ending. No, nothing. Just shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are ways to do that. Like David Lynch could have done something like that where the kids see the manifestation, but like he'd be way less on the nose about it. You know what I mean?
That's
like there's
the problem. It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
He's a surrealist, and these people are just trying to. They're trying
to lay out basic psychological horror.
Yeah. It's like
they act like they're deep.
It's like Mexican food, David Lynch makes Mexican food. They're putting taco seasoning on microwave chicken.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Shout out microwave chicken.
Yo, hold on though. I'm gonna be real. Tyson grilled ready strips are a fucking lifesaver. Especially when I was going to the gym and had to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli every goddamn day. So much better than having to go and cut up your own chicken.
Cut up your own chicken. That's code.
Yeah, for circumcising yourself in a Wendy's bathroom. Speaking of, you know what? You remember when we like dead ass got E. coli from Wendy's?
Yeah.
Dude, that was fucking awful.
That was terrible.
And
we were hanging out for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. You literally had just picked me up. I walked to my grandma's place. We went to Wendy's, and before we could even do anything, we were both miserably ill.
Yeah.
I got tested and it was E. coli.
It hit right away.
And then 4 years later, it happened to me again.
Same did it?
Wendy's, yeah.
Oh. I still eat Wendy's all the time.
I didn't eat there for years. And then I ate there again and got it again. I was like, what the fuck?
That's perfect luck.
Yeah, it's like getting a joint laced with heroin.
Cryptid encounters. There was one time I went upstairs where I work, and there was a doll on a wheelchair with a ball right in front of it.
Make it an ashy skeleton. That's just a Fallout 4 background piece.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a cryptid, obviously. I mean, somebody had set it up as like a joke.
One time we went to Kilroy's in Broad Ripple and saw my ex-girlfriend. That was a cryptid encounter.
Yeah.
She had 33 mice as pets.
33 mice.
Yeah.
Who needs 33 mice?
Well, I guess they're rats. Whatever the.
Is this woman Nosferatu?
Oh, God. We talked about that on the podcast. I've watched it since we talked
That's
about
right. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is that bad.
And why the fuck? Like, I can be okay with him looking like the fucking air-fried corpse of Vlad Tepes.
Yeah.
I cannot be okay with him sounding like Till Lindemann from Rammstein the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the look doesn't even kill it, and everybody acts like that's what's wrong with it. Or at least the bad reviews that I've heard is, oh, they changed the look of it. Well, yeah, I'm pretty pissed about that too.
But they could have done it if he wasn't.
They could have still made a decent movie. I mean,
If he wasn't like glaring at Lily Rose Depp going, I want you to bounce on it.
yeah,
Crazy style.
yeah.
While her boyfriend's like sitting in the antique cut chair.
That was not a good movie.
Bust that pussy open and make it ocean.
These are just Rammstein lyrics.
Deep in my castle, I'ma make you squirt. He looked like he needed her to squirt on him. He looked very, he looked dry rotted.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That was something. That was like almost traumatizingly bad.
Suck the crypt dust off my penis.
That almost rhymed. Crypt dust, penis.
In my castle like a real one. This bitch about to suck off the crypt dust.
You ever encountered a vampire?
Only figuratively.
Yeah. No, vampires are not real, but there are people who think that I'm letting the audience know, to those people who might be listening who think that they're fucking vampires. You're not a fucking vampire, because that's where I'm about to go with this.
Okay.
Have you met a motherfucking person that thinks they're a vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unhinged. And they're kind of everywhere.
Absolutely.
They're kind of everywhere. Like, there's some that like actually drink blood, like their own, or like sometimes they have like a weird sexual thing with somebody else where it's like they allow them to drink their blood. Or they're like, oh, I'm an energy vampire.
And we wonder where AIDS came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Energy vampires.
I had a girl who stalked me, who worked at a coffee shop, and I dated her for like 2 weeks, and then she like mailed me a vial of her blood. And then she like put love spells on my doorstep. And I'm like, if you're getting this bent out of shape for a guy as ugly as Viggo Johnson, you need help. Like, I'm not.
She put love spells on your doorstep. See, that doorstep is in love with that woman now, and it can never have her.
Yeah. I'ma take your main bitch as a concubine. Shooting kids in that. Call the bitch Columbine.
Anyways, shout out
Columbine.
shout out real life vampires. Dumbass idiots.
Dude, I knew a guy.
That's something we should react to sometime, is like people who think they're vampires.
I knew a guy who went to Ball State who's like a super like flamboyant gay guy who had like the fang veneers, and his whole thing was that he was a vampire, and he insisted that everyone believe it. And I used to harass him all the time because he'd go to Savage's and flirt with dudes. And he was in there and he was all like, I have to avoid the sunlight. I only come out after 9 p.m. And I don't know. He talked like a fucking Southern lawyer, which was already confusing enough. It was like if Colonel Sanders read Twilight.
Yeah.
And he was like, I only come out after 9 p.m. Lucky for me, that's when the prey is running. I was like, were you a rapist? He was like, honey, I'm a vampire.
You are a lisp away from doing the Fleece Johnson.
I was like, no, you're fucking not. You're a white 33-year-old that's a fucking sophomore in college. And he was all like, son, don't you question my abilities. I was like, turn into a fucking bat right now. Turn into a fucking bat. He was like, that's frankly offensive to me. Us vampires don't really turn into bats. I'm like, you're from fucking Muncie. Stop talking like you're from fucking White Plains, Alabama in 1844. He was all like, I'm 300 years old. I own slaves. The only people that talk like that owned slaves. Well, that is a smashing indictment of my client's character, son. How dare you claim such an egregious thing upon my Pina? That's the only time I've known a person who genuinely thought they were a vampire. I knew people that was like their kink. I knew a guy who was a dom and he was a vampire dom. And he worked at a bank here in town. And
A blood bank? But
and I used to make fun of him all the time because his girlfriend was a friend of mine's sister, and so we all had to hang out together. And he dressed like Christian Grey, but he was built like Chaz Bono. Like he looked like a Sigma male Bobby Hill. And he had this like greasy, slicked back, like Willem Dafoe hair. And could not grow facial hair. He looked like the mole rat from Kim Possible signed a pact with a witch to be human. And his girlfriend was a really nice lady. Like, she was dumber than a box of hammers, but she was nice. Like, she's the kind of person that if you were in a tunnel, you couldn't convince her how to get to the other side. She'd try and take a right. But we're in the living room, and they were one of those people, they did not, the beef did not stop in the fucking stove. They definitely brought their kink out into the public. And he would be all like, Daddy's girl's being very naughty. And he was like one of those guys in public, and it was just very uncomfortable. And he was sitting on my couch, which I never sat on again. But he's sitting on my couch with his girlfriend, and he was all like, if you continue to be a good girl for me, I'll untie you later. I was like, wouldn't that imply you had to tie her up first? And he was like, no. She's already
That's not how it works.
No, hold on. He's like, she's already been tied. I was like, what do you fucking mean, dude? She's sitting right there. And he was all like, you see, she's chastity tied. And what he went on to explain was that she had like piercings in her labia that he could lace her pussy shut like a fucking Converse.
That's one of the worst things I've ever heard.
And like he explained it, and she just like kind of sat there and stared at the floor. And on one side of things, I was all like, I want to know what like piercer will put eyelets in a labia. Like who's gauging their labes?
Like it's fucked up things like that make me think, you know, it just makes me feel so vanilla in comparison.
Yeah. And it's like on one side of things,
It's like people who like sew their ass shut and like weird shit
I couldn't tell if I believed them or not.
with a cucumber in it.
I didn't want to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that dude that was he put a fish in his boyfriend's ass and fucked his ass till the fish died.
Oh God, that'd smell awful. Can you imagine?
Could you imagine?
Like, where did this happen?
I don't know. It was like an internet thing.
I started to say, was this in prison? Because that implies they were also using like mayonnaise or some.
Back to Fleece Johnson.
It was Fleece Johnson.
No, could you imagine like working at PetSmart and they come in and buy like 3 more betta fish, and you're all like, oh no, why do they need this many betta fish? Little do you know they're fucking them to death inside of another man's ass.
Isn't there a video game about that?
What?
You're like a fish going through a tube, and like you go up or down. There are like 2 choices in the game. You go either up or down, and you're in a big tube, like a fleshy tube. I'm not making this up. Like it looks like you're a fish flopping around a giant ass.
I know that was made by Japanese dudes.
No, I don't know if it was. Hang on a minute. This is an indie game. It's like a short indie game. Game where you play as a fish up or down. How Fish is Made. How Fish is Made. A surreal horror game where you play as a sardine in a fish processing machine, facing the existential choice of going up or down. Like, let me show this to you. How Fish is Made. By the way, perfect albums when we were talking about it. Why didn't we say Trout Mask Replica?
Because I don't like Trout Mask Replica.
Fair enough. I love Trout Mask Replica.
Yeah, I can tell.
Neon Meat Dream of a Octafish.
Neon Meat Dream. That's a band name.
Maybe it's not a big fleshy tunnel. I thought it was.
The Mandela effect. I thought the fish was in a butthole.
Yeah, I thought this fish was in somebody's ass.
Side note, because I made a Mandela effect joke. If you are one of these fucking idiots that think that a Rubik's Cube was RUBIX, soak your fucking head.
No. Wait a minute. I was right. Look.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like a fish. I don't know. Parts of this game looks like it takes place in a big anus. I don't know.
Fucking.
But you were saying something about the cube of Rubik.
Yeah. There are motherfuckers out there that are all like Mandela effect, which by the way, if you bring up the fucking Mandela effect, automatically anything that comes out of your mouth, I do not give a fuck about because you're just stupid. You really believe that you jumped into an alternate universe because you can't fucking remember how the Berenstain Bears is spelled? You fucking idiot. You don't deserve to have the right to fucking vote, and voting doesn't do anything. Like, I'm sorry, but if you genuinely believe in the Mandela effect, consider the Rose Kennedy. Anyway, I hate it when motherfuckers pull that shit. And now, every time I get on TikTok,
I support your right to vote.
Wow.
Mandela believers.
Yeah.
Repping Nelson Mandela everywhere.
I can't fucking wait for that day that the Mandela catalog. Mandela effect dudes are into voting and they're all like, I don't remember voting for this person. I demand a recount. It's a Mandela effect that I voted for Trump. That's how they're getting out of it. Motherfuckers now are all like, I remember vividly having a Rubik's Cube as a kid, and it was spelled Rubix. No, it's the cube of Rubik. Rubik apostrophe S cube. The cube of Rubik.
Rubik is my favorite Egyptian pharaoh.
Cause what?
But isn't there a brand where it's X? Like, I think there are some like toys where it's branded as Rubik's with an X at the end. It might not be. I don't know.
But regardless, what the is a Rubik's? You guys are fucking dumb. It's like the Berenstein.
No, there is another company called Rubik's with an X, but no, I mean, yeah, I know it's the cube of Rubik. I don't know. I really didn't even know Rubik's was a Mandela thing.
But like,
shout out Mandela catalog.
There is a Rubik's company, but it has nothing to do with Rubik's Cube. The company Rubik's is a fucking industrial products company in England.
Well, is it just one company that makes Rubik's Cubes?
I mean, I don't think it's one company that makes Rubik's Cubes, but they're all called what they are.
Like, is Rubik's a brand name, basically, is what I'm trying to figure out.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I thought about getting a Rubik's Cube and seeing if I could solve it while I'm drunk.
I'm gonna start a Mandela catalog. God damn it! I'm gonna start a Mandela effect.
Shout out to plagiarism. You're gonna start a Mandela effect. Okay.
I'm gonna start a Mandela effect.
We're jumping straight into editing the fabric of time.
No, I want to be all like,
load it up on DaVinci Resolve.
I remember Brandon Townsend. His name was spelled differently. And then I want to show you how easy it is to convince the public to believe some dumb shit. We're like, guys, don't you remember that Brandon Townsend's last name started with a T and ended with a T? And
Townsend.
Everybody be like, I remember that.
No. Here's what you do. You convince people that my first name is spelled Branden. That's easier to convince people.
No, I gotta go real stupid with it just to show you how stupid people are. You can convince them anything. I could convince them my name was Vito and I'm not even Italian.
Dorito.
Thank God.
Dorito Johnson.
Like, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just, like, I'm dumb as fuck, but I feel smarter than the average American because, like, I can remember the Berenstain Bears. It wasn't Berenstein. He did not say, Luke, I am your father. How would that even make sense in the fucking context? You killed my father. Luke, I am. Like, you're already talking to him. Why are you just going to say his name for that one line? That's dumb.
I used to say Berenstein, but I feel like back then everybody said Berenstein. I feel like back then everybody just like mass mispronounced it.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I'm not like, oh, Mandela effect. I'm just kind of like, oh, wow, I'm stupid for not realizing it was Berenstain this whole time.
And like the whole idea of the Mandela effect is just like people trying to convince themselves that they're so important, it's impossible they might misremember something. And all the cornucopia believers. They believe Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And it's like, no, it didn't.
There's one that I remember that stood out to me, which is on the Nintendo 64 cartridge of Spider-Man, Activision Spider-Man, which I still have. On the cartridge, it shows the side of a building, and apparently most people remember it showing Spider-Man on the cartridge, but it actually doesn't. It just shows the side of the building.
Yeah.
Now, I've always had that game, so whenever that was brought to my attention by somebody, I was like, no, it just shows the side of the building.
I'm going to go to New York and be like, Mandela effect. Last time I was here, I remember there being 2 buildings over there. Jet fuel cannot melt Mandela peen.
George Bush did the Mandela catalog.
Dude, his paintings look like they belong in the painter. Oh my God, they've released the Berenstein flight logs.
Who's a better artist, do you think? George Bush or Hunter Biden?
Hunter Biden sold more art.
I guess, yeah. If we're going by pure sales, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Man, America's weird. I don't know how the fuck we've made it through, like, Trump versus Clinton to Trump versus Biden, then Trump versus Harris. Like, where the fuck are they picking the presidential candidates at? The fucking back of a lithium unit? Like, at this point, I'd rather vote for Fleece Johnson.
I don't think we should ever have a normal president.
I don't think we should ever have a president.
I think we should wrap it up.
Okay. Well, you do the outro.
This is the outro. Go to www.doxbyfilms.com for everything Doxby Films related.
Then go to a go-to grocery store, buy a long skinny cucumber, can peel it up nicely, put it in a Tupperware with chili crunch, your favorite Asian hot sauce. I go for gochujang, sesame seeds, seaweed flake. Put the lid on the Tupperware, shake the fuck out of it, and chill it. Then eat it.
I thought you were going to say take the cucumber, shove it in your vagina, and then sew your vagina shut.
Tighten up your Chuck Taylor vagina Converse and eat a cucumber.
That's our advice, but not really, because if you injure yourself doing some wild shit like that, then you could blame us. So don't do that. We don't condone it. We don't condemn it either.
Ja jestem chleb mężczyzną, kurwa.
What he said.
Ja pierdolę.
I only speak 2 languages. English and stupidity.
3. Fleece Johnson.
English and booty.
The Shape of Water remade with Fleece Johnson called The Shape of Booty.
A very special thank you to our Tier 3 Patreon supporters, Cody Hilsky, Brayton Walker, and Allyson Revalee. And just a friendly reminder to everybody that we do have a Patreon. So if you'd like to support us that way, that's a good way to do it. Patreon.com/DoxbyFilms. Again, that is Patreon.com/DoxbyFilms. Go there now, get exclusive benefits, and support our work. Thank you.